that a selfie, or are you doing?
No, that's you guys.
Oh.
You guys are going out there. Ha, it worked. All right, Ryan, you can check your Twitter now. I already put the message in. Now your picture's on there. You guys are going out right now.
I'm going to favorite it.
Retweet it, favorite it. What else can you do with those things? Huh?
Good comment on it.
Comment on it, reply to it. All right, it's out there. Thanks for coming again this year. You guys are great to show up and be here and get us started. I appreciate that. I've got a handful of notes that I'll run through and then get to your questions. I won't dig into our team a whole lot in the notes that I've got, just a little bit of housekeeping, if you will, but be happy to take any and all of your questions and stay here as long as you've got them. So have those, and I'm sure you've got them ready to go. I'll start with Seth Tuttle. He strained his Achilles tendon about 2 weeks ago. He may have the boot on today. Don Bishop, our head athletic trainer, is working hard to get Seth all the way back. I would tell you, in talking with Bish this morning, 1 to 2 weeks. We are hoping to have Seth on the practice floor. Could be as soon as 6 or 7 days, could be up to 2 weeks. Our hope, obviously, is that it doesn't extend anywhere past that. But it's been about 2 weeks so far, and hope to have him back soon. I mentioned Don Bishop, our athletic trainer. We've got a new addition to our staff this year, Andre Comini. For some of you that can turn around and take a look, if you'd wave your hand there, Andre. Andre is our new men's basketball strength coach. He works specifically with our team. Jed Smith is still our head strength coach, and our guys still spend time with Jed, and will continue to spend time with Jed. But Andre is with our guys each and every day. A lot of individual work, handles our conditioning. My guess is when you talk with the players and ask them about the summer and ask them about this fall, that Andre's name is going to come up. So wanted to get you introduced to him. My staff is back there as well, and that, fortunately for me, has not changed. Kyle Green, Derek Netton, and Johnny Moran are here. Eric and PJ are hitting the road doing some recruiting here the next couple days. But those guys are in place again, and very fortunate and very happy to have those guys back and not have any turnover in my staff. Kevin, I don't know if Kev is back there. Kevin Launderville sets up the room and make sure you guys have something to eat and drink when you get here every year, and he takes care of things today, but on a 12-month calendar, he takes care of a few more things for me and our staff and everybody else around here. So Kevy, thanks a lot for what you're doing all the time. Colin was just up here, and you guys know Colin from working with him. Does a terrific job, Colin. I appreciate your help. Kerry Dickerson and Steve Schofield are sitting at the table right behind us, and those guys do a lot. Kerry with our Panther Scholarship Club, Steve with a number of things, including our marketing efforts, but a number of other things as well. Appreciate you guys being here today and what you do. Colin mentioned our new locker room. Carson did a terrific piece on it. Thanks for doing that last week, Carson. And you'll have an opportunity when we go down. The room will be open. So when we go down, you can walk through and take your pictures. If you want to take a guy in there and sit him down somewhere and do an interview on camera or off camera, you're welcome to do that when we head down. But at the least, you'll be able to take yourself through there and see everything. Take as much time as you want in there. If you saw the piece, you heard me talk about Dale and Marilyn Howard, how much we appreciate their generosity and their friendship. I also want to talk about Dave Peters and his company for a second. He did the suites that we can see if you just look out the window up top here on the west side. That was a few years ago when Dave Peters did those suites. He also did the construction of our new locker rooms, and he's a guy that's done a number of things for our program, but also for a number of our other programs and our university and our community, and his work is, to say it's top-notch would be underselling it a little bit. And you'll see that when you go down in that new team room and locker room, the kind of work that Dave Peters expects from his company. So I appreciate Dave taking care of that for us. The season ticket breakfast was mentioned. Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, 7 in the morning. We had about 200 plus last year that showed up for that season ticket kickoff breakfast. We encourage people to come that are season ticket holders. We'd really like to see people that are not the season ticket holders to bring somebody with them. We encourage our students to come to that as well. We want everybody to show up and be there. I talk for a little bit. Our guys get up and introduce themselves. They talk a little bit. Our 5 seniors will talk a little bit longer than the rest of them, but a great opportunity. It was fun last year. We expect an even bigger crowd this year and look forward to doing that a week from Wednesday. Couple real quick things about our team, and as I do from time to time, Derek, Kyle, Johnny, if I forget something, you can slide a note up here, or we all know each other well enough. You could just yell at me and tell me what I forgot if there is something before I get to questions. We're coming off a semester in which our team had a 3.21 GPA in the spring. I believe that's the highest we've had, or very close to the highest we've had in a semester. You know, our guys run around right around a 3.0 for semester by semester and overall GPA, and so they continue to do a terrific job. But coming off a great semester for us, we returned Nate Buss and Max Martino, who were honored by our league as all academic type performers. A couple of the officiating rules. I don't know what everyone in the room thought about the hand check, thought about the block charge. Those were the 2 major changes last year. I like what they did with the hand check, that they're calling more the contact. If you leave your arm on a guy and impede his progress while he's dribbling the basketball, they made that change last year, and that's a good change. If you continually jab at a guy, that's a foul, and it was called last year. And the thing that happened, the players adjusted to it as the year went on. I've had people ask me, did the officials quit calling those hand checks as the year went on, or as it got later? I don't think that was the case with the hand check. I think it was the players who adjusted. They want to be on the floor. So there wasn't as much hand checking as there would have been a year ago, 2 years ago. The rule that most everybody seemed to have a little more difficulty with was the block charge rule. That is going to go back to the way it was prior to last year. If you saw the language on it, upward motion was the language, if you heard that or saw that last year, of the offensive player as he started toward the basket. That language has been removed, and that I think is a very good decision on the part of the officiating committee. That just made the job for the officials that much harder. You know, that black charge call is it's the most difficult call because it's usually a bang play, and to add language to have the officials thinking about how to call it and when to call it and who did what in addition to getting it right, I felt like was too much. So happy to see that language is removed, and it will go back to the way it was prior to last year, and the officials will now be able to officiate the play the way they see it. There's a couple other ones that they're talking a lot about cleaning up post play. They cleaned up the stuff out on the 3-point line, the perimeter play with the hand check. They're talking about now really cleaning it up around the basket so that guys aren't going back and forth and just banging into each other. So we'll see how that plays out. It's been emphasized before, but I think that will be called similar to the way the hand check was called last year, and trying to clean up that post play. This story, and I've told it to some people before, this may be the best way I can sum up where our guys are at right now in terms of their mentality and the kind of summer and the kind of fall that they've had. 3.5 years ago, when this group, Dion, Seth, these guys got to campus, Dion is our point guard, of course, Seth is our center, and I think a couple of you maybe have heard me tell this story. Dion was 208 pounds, Seth was 207 pounds, so our point guard was heavier than our center, which, right, it doesn't happen on a basketball team very often. Fortunately, we stand here today and Dion is 191 pounds and Seth is pushing 240 pounds. So we've now got 50 pounds in between our center and our point guard going the correct way, as opposed to 3.5 years ago when we had a pound between them and it was the point guard who was a little bit heavier. So that would be an indication of a couple things, and I think you can certainly figure out what those things are in terms of how hard the guys have worked to do that. That would spread throughout our entire team. It isn't just those two guys that have put in the kind of work it takes to make some changes. And so proud of Dion with what he's done over the past 4 months in particular. His conditioning, he's paid attention to his diet. and has just done a terrific job of getting himself. And when you see him today, if you haven't seen him for a while, he looks completely different. He's moving at a very high speed, playing at a high level. And then Seth, prior to, he still looks good, but he hasn't been on the floor now for a couple of weeks, and I talked about his injury. But had a great summer, and again, I could keep going with our guys, but that I think indicates what our guys have done here in the past 5-6 months. The most important things for us as coaches, and they're no different than what we talk about each and every year, no different than what we have to be able to do from a coaching staff standpoint, and that's to help our guys understand that taking care of what we can control, getting the most out of each and every day, taking pride in who we are, taking pride in our community, taking pride in our university, taking pride in our student body, and understand that we represent all of those things. That's what we'll talk to them about every day. Those are the things that are going to help us progress throughout the year, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, seeing some progress, and having a basketball team that is playing at its highest level when we get mid-January, early February. But those are the things that they will hear from our coaching staff all the time. We won't talk about, we got to win this game, we got to win X number of games, we got to play in this tournament. Those aren't things that we talk about. Those aren't things that I think about. We've got goals, and I think you guys know what those goals are: to contend for a championship and play in the NCAA tournament, no doubt. But we are at a point right now where we need to help our guys understand it's about getting everything we can out of each and every day, and that takes a tremendous amount of pride. The two things that we're going to do at a high level, and then I'll open up to questions, is defend and rebound. I'll leave it at that.